started. All right. Hi, Mama. All right, let me move those. We're going to take a comfortable seat. So here we go, friends. Sitting up nice and tall. Oh, Mama, you don't like the essential oils, huh? All right, friends, so sit up nice and tall. Shoulders are over your hips. And just gently lean forward, lean back. Find that just right spot so you feel even forward and back, and then also left to right. And then once you find that sweet spot, go ahead and allow your eyes to close from top to bottom. Just allow your body to arrive at our practice today. Nice, smooth inhale through your nose. And a slow, smooth breath out your nose or through your lips. Depending on what's happening, if you've had any congestion or if you've been sick or something, make sure you're exhaling through the mouth if you need to. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, please feel free to do so. So begin to take that breath in a little fuller and a little deeper. So maybe you engage in ujjayi if that's familiar to you, or you just keep that nice, steady, full breath in and out. So it's a little more intentional. It's a little more, it's not like your everyday breathing. So nice and full. And that breath is going to be our tool when we get into some of these postures. So as we begin, I'm just going to remind you of our three main tenets for our practice is that we find the appropriate depth for each shape that we come into. We hold still and we hold for time. If at some point you need to come out sooner, please do so. You know your body best, and I want you to listen to your body. All right, friends, take 2 more breaths here. Just establish that breath before we go any further. And if your eyes are closed, before you open them, just allow the eyes to gaze down towards the ground. And then gently begin to blink open your eyes and come back to this space. All right, I'm going to make sure I monitor the chat. So anytime you need to pop something in, I will make sure I read it. Peppermint is great for migraines. Absolutely. I love some peppermint. We've had some bug bites recently here in Las Vegas. That's where I'm at. It was a really hot day today. And I got my lavender oil. So I've been using lavender oil on these itchy spots. So peppermint, I love for so many reasons. So refreshing. Okay, so let's get into the hips to start. Let's do a nice long-legged butterfly. I'm going to show you the setup with and without props. So if you want to take a really nice forward fold in that, you can drape the legs over the bolster if that works for you, and then you can just bring your body forward towards the bolster. Or you can take a blanket, which I prefer. It's really nice, especially if the insides of your legs are just not able to go all the way to the ground. If you can't get the knees down, you can take a blanket, roll it up so it's a nice long roll, not too thick. Place it over the tops of your feet and then tuck those tails, and that's going to support the shins for you. And then you can come forward just like that. And I think this feels really good today. So I'm going to keep the blanket roll. But if you want to take the blanket roll out, then soles of the feet come together. The further you move the feet away from you, the more you're going to feel in the outside hips. And if you bring the feet in closer, the more you're going to feel on the inseam. So find that just right spot, like we like to call Goldilocks. Not too easy, not too hard, but just right. So as you're setting up, you have your props. We are going to set the timer for, let's take it for 3 minutes here. So as you're ready, friends, maybe you stay upright. This is good for you right here. You feel enough. If you want to feel a little bit more and go a little bit deeper, then gently come forward into that fold and let gravity do the work here. So stay for a nice inhale. Exhale completely, let it go. Maybe even allow your chin to tuck in towards your chest a little bit more. And just breathe. Try to maintain that nice, smooth, even breath. See if with each exhale you can relax and go a little bit deeper into your fold. The body needs time to kind of process and register, especially if you're feeling a lot of sensation. Use that breath. Stay for a nice full breath. In and then exhale. Try to soften those spaces that seem tight or where you're holding tension. Keep breathing into your back body. Feel that space across your low back. Feel the breath in your back body and the upper back region. Just fill that space that you've created. Just a few more breaths left in this shape. So try to go as deep as you can here if it feels safe. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands back and slowly bring yourself back up. All right, if you used any props, just carefully set those aside. And then use your hands on the outsides of your knees to bring your knees up. And place your hands behind you, and then you can just kind of windshield wiper the legs back and forth, left to right. And we're going to take this into a half butterfly next. So we'll do one on each side, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into the hamstrings and the glutes for sure. All right, friends, take as much time as you need. We have a few more moments of movement before we come into our next shape. So here we go. Extend one leg forward. And the other one you're going to bend so you can keep it in that half butterfly kind of shape. Now the foot can either touch the inseam of your opposite leg, or it could come out a little bit. This is going to be where this becomes very individualized and very personalized in the shape. So one leg straight. And remember, this is not our traditional yoga posture where we're going to place that foot and flex the foot and toes reach up. We're just going to let that leg that's extended just kind of roll open to the side. And the same thing for this one. Like I said, you can have the foot touch the leg or not. And then again, we're just going to come into that fold. We're going to take 2 minutes on this side and then 2 minutes for the other side. So when you're ready, friends, stay for the inhale. And then exhale, slowly come down into that forward fold. So a nice external rotation of one leg, and then the other leg is just neutral, but you're going to feel a stretch in the back of that straight leg. So getting more into the hamstrings for sure. So Rick, this is for you, my friend. Remember, it's not so much about can we touch our feet, but remember, we're just releasing and allowing the body to get as deep into this shape as it can. Not forcing or pushing or rushing. It's all just very gradual. So you're going to feel probably some warmth across your low back, a little dull, aching sensation. If there's any sharp shooting pain, that is your cue to come out of the pose. Just going to pop over to the chat really quick. Okay, nothing new. All right, cool. We're still there in our half butterfly. All right. Carefully walk your hands back under your shoulders. Press your hands down and then inhale, slowly come up. Let's switch sides. Hello. Thanks for all the hearts and love, everybody. We're going to extend the other leg forward. Oh, Katrina, yay. Yes, it has. It's been about 5 months. I'm happy to be back. All right. So glad you can pop on. All right, friends, I'm going to take my other leg forward. It's going to be my right leg forward, left leg bent. I'll just turn sideways the other way so it's a bit easier. All right, so here we go. One leg straight. Again, the leg that's extended, we're just going to let that foot kind of roll open to the side. And then the other foot is touching the inseam of the leg or slightly apart. You get to make that decision depending on your hips and how they're feeling. If you feel like the low back is rounding a lot, then take a blanket and sit under a blanket so you have a little extra space there. All right, friends, here we go. Side number 2. Woo, yay, I love all those hearts. Thank you, friends. Go ahead and open that leg and then just come down towards it. Any amount. And you might notice from side to side, that's one of the things I love about practicing one side and then the other, because then you can kind of see where one is a little bit more loose or a little bit less sensation, right? So these are it's just good information for you. It's not a judgment. It's not like, oh no, I'm not a good yogi. This is just information for you about your body and how to work with your body. Keep taking those nice full breaths in. Complete exhale. Just release as much as you can here. Maybe for a little extra sensation, you tuck your chin in a little bit more towards your collarbones. And do your best to soften through all of your facial features, your jaw, your forehead, the space in between your eyebrows. Just soften that space. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, place those hands under your shoulders as you inhale. Slowly come back up. All right, friends. We're getting ready for something we've kind of been working towards, a little progression with this, the first couple of postures. If you want to bend the knees again and take some windshield wipers, you can do that once more. And now we're going to head into a forward fold with both legs straight. So still getting into the glutes and the hamstrings and the hips. So here we go. All right, so both legs straight. Again, if you need to kind of pull the buttock flesh away from your sitting bones, you can do that. Feet can be together, but remember, relaxed. So you can let the feet roll open to the sides or keep them together, still rolling open to the sides. Also, again, if you need to have a blanket underneath you, if you feel like you're kind of rounding in your low back, sit up on something to give yourself a little more space. And then we're going to go ahead and fold forward. If you need to have that blanket underneath your knees, you can do that once again. That's if the hamstrings are really, really, really tight and you just need a little give. You need a little space. And that's what that blanket is going to do. So you can place that blanket roll right back underneath the knees, and that's going to alleviate any kind of low back stuff that you might be feeling. Okay? All right, so we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So when you're ready, stay for that inhale. Sit up nice and tall, and then exhale. Just go ahead and start to come down and forward. Remember, it's not so much about how far forward or if you can touch your feet or your ankles. Just think about releasing here and softening. Place your hands anywhere that they're comfortable, maybe next to your legs or on top of your legs. Totally up to you. And to get into the whole spine, all the way from your tailbone all the way to the cervical spine again. Maybe you're tucking your chin in just a little bit more, creating a little bit more sensation. And then, of course, breathing. Nice full breath and complete exhale. Let it go. So you may be feeling something in the low back, the outsides of the hips, the hamstrings, the glutes. Those are the main target areas, but you might be feeling it elsewhere too. Under a minute left, my friends. So if you have a little bit more to give, maybe you go a little bit more forward if you can. Maybe come down a little bit more towards your legs. Try to close that gap if you can. And if not, then just stay right where you are and breathe. All right, friends, slowly place those hands down. As you inhale, walk your hands back, sitting up nice and tall. All right, and then of course, any kind of movement that you need. So maybe if you just want to shake the legs out a little bit, give them a little movement, you can do that. If you want to take it back into those windshield wipers, that's always a great choice too. All right, good. Okay, a couple more moments of movement if you need it. All right, I'm just kind of checking over what else we have. All right, I think I want to take us down to the floor. So go ahead and bend those knees. And then you might want to scooch a little bit so you're in the center of the mat and then roll all the way down to your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest and you can give yourself a little rock side to side. Just let your spine settle completely on your mat. Feel that support underneath you. All of our forward folds have been very grounding and hopefully very soothing to your nervous system. That's exactly what they are designed to do. Those wise yogis knew all of this thousands of years ago. Right. All right, let's get into a little bit more for the whole body, but still kind of working on the lower body. Now we're going to do cat pulling its tail. So I'm going to take my left arm out to the side and roll to my left side here. And then I'm going to bring this top leg, my right leg forward. So my hand is supporting my head here. If you want to use a block or if you want to use any other props, you may. So this right leg is forward. Now I'm going to take my right arm, bend my left leg, and I'm going to catch that foot right here. Good. So now, if this is enough, then you stay right here. If you have a little bit more and it would feel good, then go ahead and drop that right shoulder down. So now it's become a little bit of a twist. So we're going to be here for 2 minutes on this side, and then we'll go to the other side. So just breathe here. Now, this top leg that is extended, if you need it to come down a little bit, you can do that, but you could also bring it up a little bit higher. And that's going to get a little bit more into your psoas, and you get a little bit more into your hips. So find that just right spot. Find your Goldilocks. Not too easy, not too hard, just right. Now, either you're still up with your head under or your hand supporting your head, or maybe you've decided to take that little twist here in the upper body. And then if you want, you can extend that left arm out if you took the twist. And breathe here. Try to allow that right shoulder to soften down towards the earth any amount if you took the twist. And then just kind of notice the sensation you're feeling in the lower body. I'm feeling a lot in that right back hip. And then you can always adjust your leg and see how that feels. If it gives you more sensation or less sensation. And then find that just right spot. And we're going to hold still. And if you receive any benefit from any of these postures, your donations are greatly appreciated. Another full breath in. Complete exhale and soften, release. Good. All right, if you have hold of that left foot, gently release it. Don't let it slingshot. And then draw that top right leg back in. Now knees are stacked. You can bring yourself onto your left side again, just the same way that we started. And just stay here for a moment. Just let your body reset. You don't need to move quickly. Yin is not one of those faster paced practices. We have all the time in the world today. And then using both of your hands, you can slowly roll over to the other side. I'm going to shift the other way. How are we doing, everybody? Good? So far, so good? All right. All right, cool, cool. All right, so we're going to get down onto our right side. Take that right hand, support your head. Top leg, left leg will come forward, and then you can bend the bottom right leg, catch it with your hand, your left hand. And then again, you can stay right here if this is enough. You're like, yep, I'm feeling something, then you can stay. And then you can adjust your foot as well. Now, if you want to take it a little bit deeper and join me, you're more than welcome to drop that left shoulder towards the earth. So now we're going to bring it more into a twist. And that hand on the head can just extend anywhere away from your body or close to your body. Take an inhale. And gently release that tension. Just let that left shoulder fall closer to the earth. And then adjusting that foot anywhere you like, that extended left leg. And it's like I said, right? When we do side to side, left to right, it's going to look and feel different. So try not to judge yourself too harshly or criticize your practice if they don't look or feel the same. Again, it's information for you about your body on where you need to work more. That's it. It just gives us a little guidance on our practice. Our bodies are always informing us and speaking to us. But the thing is, we have to get still enough and quiet enough to hear what the body is asking for. I love a good cat pulling its tail. It's a little not like traditional yoga postures, it's a little bit different. Nice full breath in, smooth exhale out, releasing, softening, letting go. We spend so much of our time holding on to things. It's a really nice feeling to let go and just be. Just be a human. Not a human doing, just a human being. It's all you have to do right now. One more full breath in. And slowly exhale, release that right bottom foot. And then draw the left leg back in. So now you're on your right side and you're just going to stay here for a moment. No rush. Good. All right. So I want to get a little bit more into our neck. I know that was an ask. How are we feeling? Everybody good? All right. Please feel free if anybody has popped on since we started class 31 minutes ago. If there's anything that you need or your body, a posture that you're looking for specifically, or if you want to tell me a body part that you want to work on, please feel free to type it in the chat. But from here, we're going to go ahead and come all the way down. Yay, cool. We're going to come all the way down onto our bellies, working on the neck. So when you're ready, join me face down. Okay. We're going to bring our arms alongside the body. Okay. Now, stay for an inhale. And then exhale, gently turn your head to the left. We're just going to be here. So let the shoulders drop. Let them release. And we'll be here for 2 minutes. Just breathing here. Now, if you need a little support underneath your feet, you could take a blanket roll underneath your ankles or the front of your ankles, if that would help a little bit, if your low back is feeling a little crunchy there. You can also take the feet a little bit wider as well. But if the back feels healthy, then you can bring the feet all the way together. And just breathe. Again, doing a quick little scan of our body to see if we're holding tension in our face. If we're clenching our teeth, can you put a little space in between your top and your bottom teeth? Let your jaw be relaxed. And the eyes are soft or closed. And your forehead is smooth and still. Feel your belly press against the floor as you inhale. And then as you exhale, notice how the back falls closer to the earth. All right, friends. Gently inhale and then exhale. Bring your forehead back down to the floor, holding there. Stay for another breath in. Oops, sorry, mamas. And then exhale, go ahead and turn your head the other way. So now your head is facing towards the right. Here we go, friends. Side number 2. Again, another opportunity to notice between left and right sides. And softening through all of your facial features, relaxing the low back and the legs. Keep breathing into your low back. Let that area just loosen up and relax. Stay for one more big breath in and complete exhale out. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then slowly press back. We're going to take ourselves into a child's pose now. So big toes come together, knees separate, and then just slowly come back down to the earth. I'm going to get right into this next shape, nice little counter pose. Now, if the low back is feeling tender, I want you to bring your knees all the way together. That's just going to give you more support for your low back. But if the low back still feels okay, take your knees wide and place yourself down. I'm going to take my knees together just to give a little bit of a different sensation. So holding here now in child's pose. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your hands under your shoulders and then inhale. Slowly come back up. All right. All right. If you need some movement, this would be a good space, a good time, good opportunity just to kind of move a little bit. So if you need a down dog or some cats and cows or just a little movement with your spine, your hips, go ahead and take that, whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to just kind of sway the hips side to side, and then I'll bring it into some cats and cows. So if you want to join me for cats and cows, do so, or take any other movement that your body is asking for. About 10 more seconds of free movement in your body. All right, friends. So finishing up that movement, doing good so far. Let us go ahead and get more into our hips. Let's bring it into some deer shape. So, and I think from deer, we'll take it into a little bit deeper of a posture too. So deer or 90-90s. We're going to bring ourselves onto our left side. So the legs are opening up that way to the right. If the knees, both knees don't make those 90-degree angles, that is okay. That is what we're working towards. That bottom leg, so my right leg, that heel can come closer to my glute if I needed to, or this left foot can come closer to my right knee if it needs to. I'm going to do my best to try to stay up in this 90-90, right up nice and tall. So not too long. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes on each side. Breathing here. So we can stay up just like this. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can bring both hands over to the left and take it into a little bit of a twist. Now, if you're taking that twist, the work here is to soften this right hip and glute, because what it wants to do, wants to swing forward and engage. Now, it's fine if you want to swing forward, but can you soften and release that right hip? It wants to lift off the ground. Can you keep it planted? That's the challenge here. That's the work here. And just breathe. Hold still. You can take it into a variation too. Come down to the elbows if you like. Good. Nice full breath in. Complete exhale out. Release and let go. Soften anywhere that you can. We all have our spaces where we have our tendency to hold tension. So once you're aware of those spaces in your body, anytime you come to your yin practice, go to those spaces first. That is your work. All right, if you came down to your elbows or any variations, slowly begin to come back up. We'll just bring ourselves back into those windshield wipers, or if there's anything else you like, go for it. When I'm working with my hips, windshield wipers just feel so good. All right, take it into 90-90s on the other side. All right, so that right knee is forward at that 90-degree angle. Same thing with the back left leg. Shift around until you feel even on those sitting bones. Again, if you need to bring that top foot closer to the knee, you can, and that back foot can come towards the glute. It's all good. Okay, sitting up nice and tall is where we start. And if you want to take it into a twist, you can bring those hands down. Do that as well. Work your way into that twist. Again, when we take that twist, this back hip wants to clench and engage around the hip joint. So we need to just kind of take our hand there and smooth it out, soften, encourage the body to release and let go. Sometimes we really do need that physical cue. And it's your body, so you can touch your body to remind your body to release. That's one of the things about online yoga practice. No hands-on yoga adjustments, right? No hands-on adjustments. I'm not big for hands-on adjustments anyway when I teach. I've had some interesting experiences. I haven't been injured, thank goodness, by any yoga teachers when I've gone to class and they've put hands on me. But I prefer my students to be aware of their body and to get into the deepest shape that they can without any assistance because of injury, because of et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I think is it's not my thing. If I walk into a yoga studio and it's my first time with that teacher and they put hands on me to adjust me, I don't like it. I know they're trying to be kind and they think they're doing something good, but the thing is they don't know my practice. And if they don't know me or my practice, how do they know where to take me? That's why I don't do hands-on adjustments unless I'm doing a private or I'm very, very familiar with this person. Then if I know their practice and I know how far they can take themselves on their own, then I feel like, okay, maybe they're ready for a little bit more depth. But of course, always with permission. All right, friends, that was 2 minutes on this side. I talked the whole time. Slowly come back up. Again, windshield wipers or anything else. Maybe you want to do a little reverse tabletop. You can lift the hips up and maybe down a few times, or windshield wipers, shake the legs out, whatever your body is asking for. All right, we're going to take it into, when you're ready, we're going to take it into a really deep hip opener here, fire log. So I have a couple different ways to show you that posture. So if you want to do it like the traditional way, stacking the legs or one leg in front of the other, gives a little bit different sensation. We're only going to be here 1 minute on each side just because it is really intense. So let me get my timer ready. Okay, so if you're taking the standard pose of fire logs, you're going to try to stack shin on shin. That is what we're going for, something like that. Now, if you need a blanket, you can take a blanket to fill that space if that feels a little bit more comfortable. Another choice is to bring the leg in front of the other leg. So they're a little closer together. It kind of looks like a regular crossing, but I'm really working to get those shins parallel, like a little box. Okay? All right, friends. So whatever posture, whichever position you want to use for fire logs, go for it with whatever supports you need. And here we go. 1 minute. Good. And then if you want, you can even bring yourself down into a forward fold. That's going to bring a little bit more sensation to the outsides of your hips and your low back. So proceed with caution. I'm doing my best to kind of flex and press through my feet here. Again, pay attention from side to side. When we switch and put the other shin on top, you might notice it's a little more challenging, or it might be a little bit easier on the other side, but pay attention. All right, friends, on your next inhale, slowly come back up. Remove that prop and then unwind your legs. Give them a little stretch if they need, a little wiggle, a little shake. And now we have side number 2. Okay. So again, it's going to look different from side to side. That's okay. Just be aware of your limitations and how far you can go. Our practice is not meant to cause injury or harm. It's meant to help to heal our bodies. So let's act as if we're doing something good for our body. We're not forcing or pushing. Just so you know, the time has started. So use that bolster, support, blanket, whatever you need. If you want to bring it down, you can. Again, it's just going to give you a little bit more information about your body. So come down into that fold if you wish. And then working to press through those heels, just so we're protecting our knee joints as well. So big hip opener, big external rotation in both of the legs. Hi, Mama. Hi. Is it almost time for dinner? Is that what's going on? You hungers? Yeah? You ready to eat? Okay. All right, friends, slowly inhale, come back up. You can tell somebody's getting antsy over here. All right, friends, we are going to come down to our backs and get ready for a nice spinal twist, because that is how I like to close our class. So when you're ready, join me on your backs. And maybe you keep your feet on the floor. Hi, mamas. Hi, little girl. And you can choose. Maybe you want to take a single leg twist or double knee twist. Totally up to you. Mama, can you come over here? Come here. On this side. Over here. You're blocking the view. All right, I'm going to take my right leg straight, left knee bent. I'm going to bring that left knee in and then across my body for the twist. And that's what we're working with today. So 2 minutes on each side for the twist. Settle into whatever version you chose, single, double, or maybe you're taking twisted roots. So you're really winding up and wrapping those legs around each other. And then use support if you need. I'm going to take a block under this knee, just so it's not hanging out in space. And then you can always drop the block down to a lower level when you're ready for that. So both shoulders are grounded, knee in the twist, and you're breathing here. Nice, full, even breaths. Ooh, I must be getting a download. I have massive ringing in my left ear right now. Oh, and it went away. Stay for one more full breath in. And complete exhale. On your inhale, go ahead and roll to your back. And you can set your feet on your mat. Shift your hips a little bit if you want to lift the hips up and then bring them back down. You can do that too. All right, let's get ready for side number 2. My left leg extends long, right knee comes into my chest. And here we go. Right knee across body. Good, both shoulders planted. And we're in our twist. Breathing here. It's our last shape before we take our final resting position. So just keep breathing and releasing. Everything that we've worked for is coming up next. It's the dessert. to our practice. Even in our twist, we can still breathe deeply and fully. Deep breathing is very helpful and beneficial to moving lymph in our body. That's why yoga is such an amazing practice for so many things. Stay for one more inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and roll out of your spinal twist, my friends. And we are going to find ourselves in Shavasana. So I'm going to take a bolster underneath my knees. You can do the same or you can go without. It's totally up to you. Now, I forgot to mention at the beginning of class, if you don't have like bolsters and blankets and blocks, you can always use couch cushions and towels and pillows. They're a great substitute. So when you're ready, go ahead and find yourself on your back in your most comfortable Shavasana. I like to have a little bolster underneath my knees. It just is really nice on my low back, gives it a little break. All right, friends, when you're ready, just gently rock your head side to side. Find that flat part on the back of your skull. And your eyes are looking up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And then your eyes can close from top to bottom very gently, inviting some relaxation and release here. Take one more swallow of the saliva that's in your mouth. And here we are, resting in our final posture, allowing all of the benefits of each posture to integrate into our nervous systems. Shavasana. Begin to deepen your inhales, my friends. And gently begin to move your fingers and your toes, gently waking your body from that very brief relaxation. And then you can bring it into some wrist and ankle circles in one direction. And reverse, go the other way. On your next inhale, sweep your arms overhead, take a full body stretch. All right, and then bending one knee at a time. Carefully roll over to one side and just pause there for a moment. And using both of your hands on the floor, push your way up on an inhale, and we'll come up to a seat for closing. All right, how you feeling, everybody? Good? Woo! Sending those hearts right back to you. Yay. So nice to have all 68 of you today. And look at all that gratitude. Ah, I love it. Beautiful. Yay. Thanks, friends. So nice to be back on Insight Timer. I absolutely missed having this in my life. I love teaching yoga. I've been teaching yoga for over 10 years and then even longer to children. So I am hoping to see more of you for sure. I have my classes all scheduled for June. I'll put the ones for July. I am heading back into the classroom in the fall, which I'm very excited about. I spent, the 11 years teaching special education in LA, and then I ended up moving across the country to New Hampshire and having my yoga business and doing all of that there, and then moving here, relocating back to Las Vegas. But now it's time for me to head back into the classroom. I feel like I have so much more to offer as a special education teacher. So I will be teaching an autism program for kindergartners first and second. That's the same classroom I started teaching when I first started teaching in 2006. So I am very happy to be going back to that. It's just lovely. All right, I'm going to pop over and see the comments really quick, and then we'll close. Thank you, friends. Mary, yay, I missed you guys too. So happy to be back. Thank you, Jane. Yay, awesome. All right, Julie, thank you so much. Thank you so much, friends, for your donations. It really does mean a lot to me. Yeah, thanks, Katrina. I'm just, I'm a teacher at heart. I'm an educator at heart. So even when I teach yoga, when I teach, when I was at the senior gym, just informative. I love to teach. I'm a lifelong learner. Oh my gosh. You guys are so awesome. Yay, Rick. Awesome. Yeah, right? It's a good one. Love that one. Oh, good. Oh, thanks, Julie. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. My kiddos with autism are my jam. They're so much fun. They're so much fun. Oh my gosh. I love it. And Betty, she's my old lady. I love her. We've been together for how long? I adopted you 10 years ago when I got back from Costa Rica. She's going to be 11 in July. And she is just still like a little puppy. But I can tell from like the gray on her face. Oh, mama. Yeah. All right. We love our dogs so much. My boyfriend has a pit bull named Marcus Aurelius. So she's Betty Page. She's named after the first black and white pinup. And my boyfriend is really into Stoic philosophy, so named his dog Marcus Aurelius. So we have Betty Page and Marcus Aurelius. How funny. All right, friends, on your inhale, float your hands over your head, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, I will see you on Tuesday at 8 a.m. for a Tune-In Tuesday yin yoga practice, and that's 8 a.m. Pacific time. And then next Friday, again, 4 p.m. The next class that we're going to have on Friday is going to be the yin chakra balancing. We're getting ready for our summer solstice. So we're going to go through all 7 major chakras and a posture for each one. And that's kind of a little more workshop-y. I talk a lot more through it, but I do try to give you some time and space to just be. So if you're into the chakras and you want to do these postures to work on imbalances in your body, join me. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing this class for, many years now. All right, friends. Yes, she does. Like, anytime Betty looks at me, I swear she's looking with like little heart eyes. She's just shooting heart eyes at me. Yeah. All right, Nancy. Okay. Woohoo. Good. I hope you all had an opportunity to connect with your bodies and just be, right? And this is such a great practice. I'm so glad you joined me for it. And I can't wait to see you next time. I'll see you Tuesday or I'll see you Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend. And yeah, all right, Katrina, woo, woo, woo. All right, Mary, thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care. And again, thank you so much for your donations. It does mean a lot to me. Yes. All right. Woohoo. See you soon, everybody. Enjoy.